Before starting the inspection of a pressure vessel, especially the one in severe service, the inspector should determine the following: pressure, temperature, and service conditions under which the vessel has been operated since the last inspection. The inspector should also confer with operations to determine whether there have been any abnormal operating conditions or disturbances such as excessive pressures or temperatures. In addition, he should be aware of equipment construction details including materials of construction, the presence of internal attachments, and weld details. This data may offer valuable clues to the type and location of corrosion and other forms of damages that may have occurred, such as scaling, bulging, and warping. The inspector should develop and exercise sound judgment on the extent and kinds of inspection required for each vessel. Careful visual inspection of every vessel is of paramount importance to determine other forms of inspection that may need to be made. Let's assume that the inspector observed linear indications during visual inspection. However, it was difficult to determine the exact defect type. In such cases, the inspector should request additional examination method that could properly determine the defect type, size, etc. An example examination is wet fluorescent magnetic particle test. Appropriate surface preparation is essential to be performed before visual or other non-destructive examination. For example, wire brushing, sandblasting, high-pressure water blasting, chipping, grinding, or a combination of these operations may be required in addition to routine cleaning. If external or internal coverings, such as insulation, refractory linings, or corrosion-resistant linings, are in good condition, and without evidence of an unsafe condition behind them, it may not be necessary to remove them for inspection of the vessel. However, it may sometimes be advisable to remove small portions to investigate their condition and the condition of the metal behind them, particularly if previous inspections have indicated corrosion or if operating conditions present the risk of corrosion under insulation. When any covering is found to be defective, a sufficient amount of the covering, in the vicinity of the defect, should be removed to find out whether the base metal is deteriorating, and to determine the extent of the damage. Refer to API, RP 583 for additional information on corrosion under insulation. This recommended practice discusses the external corrosion of carbon and low-alloy steels under insulation and fireproofing, as well as the external chloride stress corrosion cracking of austenitic and duplex stainless steels under insulation. Where operating deposits, such as coke, are normally permitted to remain on a vessel surface, it is important to determine the condition of the vessel surface behind the deposits. This may require thorough removal of the deposits in selected critical areas for spot check examination of the underneath base metal. Where vessels are equipped with removable internals, the internals need not be completely removed, provided that inspector can assure that damage is not occurring beyond any of the internals.
Condition monitoring locations, or CMLS, are designated areas of the pressure vessels on which periodic examinations are conducted in order to directly assess the condition of the vessel. Condition monitoring locations may contain one or more examination points and utilize multiple inspection techniques that are based on the predicted damage mechanisms to give the highest probability of detection. Condition monitoring locations should make areas of the pressure vessel more accessible and therefore Cutouts in a vessel's insulation at the CML points will facilitate visual examination, as well as thickness measurements of the vessel wall,